Tip number 1 is composition. When you're composing your photo, imagine that there's two imaginary lines coming down on your screen or your viewfinder as you're framing up what you're taking a picture of. You want your objects or your subject to either be on one of these two lines, or you want them to be in the center of your frame. Another part of this tip with composition is what's called leading lines. When you take a picture of your subject, try to have it to where objects around them are all centering in on your subject. You don't want it to be so busy and chaotic in terms of what's going on that you lose what's in focus, what is the primary part of your image. Here's a couple examples of what good leading lines look like. Another part of composition is how you frame your subject. Are there foreground elements? Are there background elements? Something that can differentiate your photos from other people's is by using subjects in the middle of things, such as having a leaf or something in the front of your frame that's out of focus, just to add a little bit of character to your image. And lastly, you want to make sure that your picture is level. There's a style of which you can use a Dutch angle, which is when your photo is actually slightly tilted. But for the most part, you want to make sure that your horizon is level. It'll just make your image look all that much better. Tip number 2 is lighting. So how is your subject lit when you're taking a picture? Are you taking a picture in the dark? Are you able to cut some lights on? Is there nice lighting in the background, such as in this image where I've got a light here and a light behind me? There are several different perspectives on how you should light a subject. Maybe you're looking for a more flat look. Maybe you want something that's called Rembrandt lighting, where there's a little bit of shadow on the face, almost like a triangle, right beside the nose. These are all different options that you have to consider when you're lighting a subject, whether it's natural lighting or an actual light itself. A tip with natural lighting is if you're taking a picture inside, do it in a room that's well lit or has big windows. This will help just give enough light onto your subject to where your picture will look better than if you were to take it in a room that doesn't have very good lighting. If you're outside, try to not take pictures directly under the sun. What happens is you end up with shadows in your subject's eyes, and this is what's called raccooning, and that's just not a very pleasant look for your subject. Try to find some shade, or even just bring a reflector, something big and white or big and silver that can reflect the light back onto someone's face to help them be more evenly lit. Now, there are also times when you can use shadows to your benefit. Here's a couple pictures that I took recently at a wedding where I specifically wanted to use harsh lighting and shadows in a creative way. So you can still use this, just use it sparingly. Alright, tip number 3 is perspective. When you're taking a picture, there's several different focal lengths. Whether you're on a phone or using a mirrorless or DSLR camera, you can change the focal length. So you might be changing a lens if you're on an actual camera, and you might be zooming in or zooming out if you're on your phone. This can change your picture and your image drastically. Make sure if you're trying to capture landscapes that you're using a wide lens or a 0.5 on your camera. This is something that can help capture more of whatever you're taking a picture of. If you're taking a picture of a portrait, maybe you want to be more zoomed in on your subject. If you're on a phone, go ahead and cut on portrait mode and get maybe that 3 times zoom on someone, as it just makes that background separate a lot better. If you're using an actual camera, maybe you're using a 50 to 85 millimeter lens and getting a little bit closer and making sure that the subject is the majority of the frame. Something you can experiment with this tip is the angle of which you're taking a picture. Typically, you don't want to take shooting straight up at a subject, as that's not a super flattering look. But if you're taking a picture of a building or, again, some landscape, maybe an upward angle would look really good. If you're taking a picture of a person, typically head on or even a little bit above them and angled down will immediately help your image look a lot better. Tip number 4, editing. Whether you're taking pictures on a phone or a camera, editing will bring your photography skills to the next level. Anyone can take a picture on their phone, but not everyone can edit well. Editing can enhance your photo, or it can also take away from your photo. There's a nice balance of well edited versus overly edited. So anyone can edit photos for free. There are lots of free programs you can use, or also there are lots of paid programs. Obviously, the paid programs are going to give you more abilities, more things to tweak and edit. If you're just starting out, I recommend editing your photos in your Photos app. Typically, whether you have an Android or an iPhone, your stock photo app will have some basic edits in it, such as contrast, exposure, vignetting, brightening of the shadows, different things like that I recommend you just playing around with. The best thing you can do is just start practicing editing. A great app that I think you should try if you're just getting into editing or want to try something else is actually free and on your phone. It's Lightroom Mobile. And a great way to get started with editing is even trying some custom preset packs. You can find these for free. I'll have some in the description of this video that you can get for free. I also have a few of my own if you're interested in looking at those. And this can just be a great way to get started with an edit on your photo. And tip number 5 is practice, practice, practice. There's a difference when someone says, I've been taking photos for 20 years, and someone who said, I've been taking photos for 5 years, if the person who takes photos for 20 years has only taken one photo every couple months, compared to the person who's taken a photo 5 years, but has taken hundreds of pictures every single day. The best way to get better at photography is to take pictures, to practice photography. This is a skill that you can learn. Now, it takes some natural creativity to maybe come up with new ideas, but to take a good picture, you can learn this. And all you have to do is just practice. I believe that anyone can take good photos if they take enough practice. If you'd be interested in a video of me explaining how to take photos and walking through a process on phone and on a camera, then definitely drop some comments down below and subscribe for that coming out later. Alright, and my bonus tip is this: watch tutorials. YouTube is free. There are videos on how to think more creatively, how to edit better, how to frame your subjects well, and this is just all free for you to access. So that's my bonus tip for the day as well, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If it has been helpful for you in any way, then please like and subscribe, and share this with a friend who might also be interested in becoming a better photographer. Thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.